Title: The Curse of Blackwater Asylum. High atop a cliff overlooking the turbulent sea, Blackwater Asylum stood abandoned and decaying, its dark history buried beneath layers of dust and neglect. The asylum, once a place of supposed healing, had been closed for decades following a series of unexplained deaths and disappearances. The townsfolk whispered of a curse that lingered in the crumbling halls, a malevolent force that fed on fear and despair. Intrigued by the tales and driven by a need for answers, Ethan, a skeptical journalist, ventured to Blackwater Asylum on a stormy night. The wind howled as he pried open the rusted gates and made his way through the overgrown grounds. Lightning illuminated the looming structure, casting eerie shadows that seemed to twist and writhe with a life of their own. Undeterred, Ethan pushed open the heavy front doors and stepped inside. The interior was a labyrinth of dark, damp corridors, the walls peeling and the air thick with the scent of mildew. As he explored, his flashlight flickered, casting fleeting glimpses of the past abandoned medical equipment, tattered patient files, and graffiti scrawled by those who had dared enter before him. He could almost hear the echoes of distant screams and the soft, sinister laughter that seemed to emanate from the shadows. In the heart of the asylum, Ethan discovered the records room. He riffled through the yellowed files, uncovering reports of inhumane treatments and experiments conducted by the asylum's deranged head doctor. Dr. Harlow. The most disturbing document detailed the final days of the asylum, a mass escape attempt that ended in tragedy, with patients and staff alike vanishing without a trace. As he read, a cold, unnatural chill crept over him. He turned to find the ghostly figure of a young woman in a tattered hospital gown standing in the doorway. Her eyes, hollow and filled with anguish, locked onto his. "Help us," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the rising wind. Ethan's heart pounded as more apparitions appeared, patients and staff, their faces twisted in eternal torment. Suddenly, the asylum's doors slammed shut, and the building seemed to come alive with a cacophony of screams and moans. Ethan realized too late that he was not an observer, but a participant in the asylum's horrific legacy. The spirits closed in, their cold hands grasping at him, pulling him into their nightmarish world. Days later, the townsfolk found Ethan's abandoned car outside the asylum, but there was no sign of him. The legend of Blackwater Asylum grew, with Ethan's disappearance adding another layer to its dark, cursed history. The asylum remained a monument to madness and malevolence, waiting for the next soul foolish enough to seek its secrets. The end.